In this example, we are given two functions, f and g, where f of x is defined by 2x and g of x is defined by 3x squared plus 1. And we want to find the composition of f of g of 4. So this really just means that we're taking f and we're evaluating it at g of 4. So what does this mean? What does this mean? Well, really what this means is we can just, what we're doing is we're taking g and we're going to evaluate it at 4, and then we're going to take that value and plug it back into f. So that's one way that you can do this. Or if you really wanted to, you could find the composition of f and g and then evaluate that new function at 4. And I'll show you both ways. So the first way is saying that this g of 4 is going to be the input of f. So if I can figure out what g of 4 is, I'm going to take that value and then plug it into f. So what is g of 4? G of 4. So if I evaluate my function g at 4, that's going to give me whatever my new input's going to be for f. So that's 3 times 4 squared plus 1. 4 squared is 16, so that's 3 times 16 plus 1. 16 times 3, that is 48, so that's 48 plus 1 is 49. So g of 4 is 49. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 49 and it's my new input for my function f. So I'm going to evaluate f at 49. So we know that this is what g of 4 is. So we know g of 4 is 49. And we're going to substitute that into f. So take 49, plug it in here. So we get 2 times 49. 49 times 2, that's 98. So f evaluated at g of 4, which is just 49, gives me 98. So this is the first way that you can do it. We just evaluate the inside part of this composition function, figure out whatever its output is. That output becomes the new input for the outside function. So that's one way. Or we could have composed these two functions and then evaluated your new composition at 4. And I'm going to show you that way right now. So let's figure out what is f of g of x. So if I wanted to find f of g of x, I'm essentially taking g of x and substituting it in for my function f. So I'm evaluating f at 3x squared plus 1. So anywhere that you see x in your function f, you're going to replace it with 3x squared plus 1. So this is 2 times 3x squared plus 1. And that's actually just the entirety of that function. So if I distribute this through, I get 6x squared plus 2. So this is my function f of g of x. If I wanted to know what is f of g of 4, essentially I just take this function and evaluate it at 4. So it's 6 times 4 squared plus 2. We know that 4 squared is 16, so this is 6 times 16 plus 2. 6 times 16, that's 96. 96 plus 2 is 98. So we got the same result from either way. So you can evaluate by composing your two functions first and evaluating your new function at whatever value you're trying to evaluate. Or you can evaluate the inside of your function first, take whatever its output is and plug it into your outside function and get the same result either way.